I certainly think this is the beginning. I don't think these royalties are sustainable.
How significant a drag has Queensland's royalty regime been on BHP's business returns?
I think quite substantial would even be an understatement. I think that the level of royalties at the moment are the highest globally and are certainly impacting their ability to get a commercial return.
The Queensland royalties, though, are based on a sliding scale. During times of softer prices, miners should be paying less in royalties. Could there be other reasons why BHP has decided to suspend the operation?
Look, I don't think so on this occasion, and certainly down the track that may be the case. There may be other reasons, but right at the moment we need to understand that the highest level of royalty cuts in at $300 Aussie a tonne. At the moment it's about 280 spot. But it hasn't taken into account the significant cost inflation that the mining industry has seen over the past 3 to 5 years.
And so could this, Romano, be the so-called canary in the coal mine? Could the BHP-Mitsubishi alliance or other miners be considering mothballing other operations for the same reason?
I certainly think this is the beginning. I don't think these royalties are sustainable. We've already seen Bowen, coking coal going to voluntary administration. We've seen Adani have to get special relief. Coronado recently came out with a $172 million loss for the half and have had to get some royalty deferral from Stanwell. So, we have to understand that at about $270 Aussie a tonne, about 25% of the world's production is underwater. And we're, just at that level at the moment.
What will this mean for the Queensland mining sector, and does the Queensland government have to take notice? Might it need to review its royalty regime earlier than anticipated?
I think it certainly does need to take notice. I mean, BMA, BHP Mitsubishi Alliance, is the largest employer in central Queensland. They put about $6.7 billion into that economy in the last financial year. So I think certainly, they're a very substantial employer. This is not a step they want to take, but as we saw last year with the nickel business in Western Australia, if it's loss-making or they can't get a commercial return, then they have an obligation to all stakeholders, including shareholders, to ensure that they're getting a proper return on their capital.
And as for reviewing the royalty regime, do you think the Queensland government is going to have to look at that sooner than it may otherwise have done?
It's a difficult one because, it's built into the budgets up until 29-30. So there would have to be, adjustments made elsewhere to make it work. I think that, they certainly need to look at some of the mines that are the borderline at the moment. At the very least, perhaps look at royalty deferral and also look at, cost inflation so they can adjust the royalty rates to an appropriate level.
Romano, are there any implications for domestic coal supplies as the nation transitions to renewables as a result of BHP's decision?
Look, most of this is impacting metallurgical coal. One of the problems with this royalty is that it doesn't discriminate between thermal coal and metallurgical coal pricing and production. Metallurgical coal is a much higher cost commodity to produce than thermal coal. So no, it won't impact the Australian supply, but it's definitely going to have an impact on the global supply, given that Australia is the largest exporter of metallurgical coal in the world.
Okay, Romano Sala Tenna, thank you.
Pleasure.